Welcome to the He's Got Issues Independent Comics Edition number 118.3. I'm John Cooney here to preview new independent comics being released April 30th, 2014, beginning alphabetically with Adventure Time 2014 Annual Number 1. Why We Love It? A very special issue by Dynamite creators Becky Dreistadt and Frank Gibson bring you the cutest things imaginable, Baby Fiona and Cake. Why You'll Love It? Not only does this issue feature fully painted pages by the amazing Becky Dreistadt, but a beautiful and sweet story featuring Cake as a kitten. Does it get any cuter? What it's about? Cake is a sweet little kitten getting into magical mischief with her best friend, little adventurer Fiona. Next we have Clockwork Angels number 2 of 6. From Rush visionary Neil Peart and fan favorite author Kevin J. Anderson, this is the world of Clockwork Angels brought to life. Owen Hardy never thought he would make it to Crown City, home of the Clockwork Angels, but now that he's here, his life is turning for the worse. That's when the anarchist steps in. We've also got Darklight hardcover, Why We Love It, from New York Times best-selling author Chad Kutchin and critically acclaimed artist Piotr Kowalski comes a sci-fi epic that is truly one of a kind. Why You'll Love It? Perfect for fans of the gritty realism of the rebooted Battlestar Galactica coupled with a sense of exploration and teamwork found in classic Star Trek. What it's about? We poisoned our planet, sucked it dry of natural resources, killed one another in the name of gods that never existed, and survived despite it all. Now at the very edge of the fabric of space-time, the universe itself is starting to decay. 3 warring races, the human empire, the organic Duron, and the cybernetic Luminids, must band together to stop their mutual destruction, and the future of the galaxy rests on Captain Rhodes and the crew of the H.E. Woden. Next we have Garfield Pet Force 2014 Special number 1, Why We Love It? It's been a blast bringing you all new Garfield stories, and some of our favorites are when Garzuka, Odious, Abnormal, and Starlina let the fur fly. Why You'll Love It? This supersized issue features an all-new story where the Pet Force team meets all their fellow superheroes from alternate dimensions. Pet Force may be tops on Dorkon, but how will they measure up against intergalactic competition? Longtime fans of the team will also enjoy this one, as many classic Pet Force foes will make their grand return. What it's about? A mission in outer space leads Pet Force to encounter versions of the team from across the galaxy, while their oldest foes prepare a special welcome for them once they return to planet Dorkon. And we've got Loki, Ragnarok, and Roll number 3 of 4. Loki's rise to fame has angered the gods, not just the Norse gods. Pantheon after pantheon is after the little trickster. Humanity has elevated Loki to a god of rock and roll. With that much belief invested in him, even a god armada has better watch out. From Dark Horse Comics, we've got Atomic Legion hardcover. In a hidden fortress near the North Pole, the greatest heroes of the past age live secluded from the world that rejected them. But when their benefactor, a mysterious scientist known only as the Professor, is kidnapped, it's up to the young boy to rally the robots, monsters, and superheroes in the fortress to come to the rescue as the Atomic Legion. From the writer of the critically acclaimed 47 Ronin and Crimson Empire. Next we have Blackout number 2 of 4. Scott Travers' mysterious suit grants him unseen, unlimited access to almost anywhere and may hold the key to his benefactor's disappearance. But others will do anything, including kill, to possess the suit. Will Scott give up the search and ditch the suit to save his own skin? We've also got Captain Midnight number 10. Captain Midnight's search for his old sidekick, Chuck Ramsey, comes to an end, but thanks to the teleporting assassin Helios, the meeting might not be the friendly reunion he expected. One of Captain Midnight's closest friends is about to die. Can he save them? Next we have Furious number 4 of 5. An innocent man is dead because of Furious, and she's not going to rest or feel less guilty until she finds his killer. Returning to the scene of the crime, she takes out her anger on any punk in sight. But is she after justice or just trying to bury her guilt beneath a beating? We've also got King Conan the Conqueror number 3 of 6. The exiled barbarian king's frantic quest for the mystical heart of Ahriman leads him to a Stygian city enthralled by a bloodthirsty serpent god. To regain his crown, Conan will have to contend with powerful priests, mad disciples, and slithering monsters before descending into a dark maze of horrors. Next we have Pariah number 3 of 8. The last Vitro on Earth devises a plan to cut off government control of the Vitro satellite in order to free his comrades in space. We've also got Serenity Leaves on the Wind number 4 of 6. With the help from the New Resistance, Mal and Serenity's crew are crashing the secret Alliance facility from which River was rescued. She is certain they need to go there, now. Meanwhile, Zoe is in Alliance custody where she discovers that there is more immediate danger from fellow prisoners than anyone else. Next, we have Star Wars Rebel Heist number 1 of 4. A young rebel meets one of the Alliance's best for this first mission, but the young man's hero worship is crushed by the reality of Han Solo. A botched escape, a ship that doesn't work. Could it be that Solo is just a lucky bumbler whose luck is run out? And we've got Vandroid number 3 of 5. In this action-packed third issue, Vandroid gets personal. An all-out brawl with the Mighty Oak Biker Club as Vandroid discovering who he really is, and it's not what he expected. But when his best friend is in danger, will Vandroid be able to withstand the brutal experimentation of the R&D gang, or will he become a wiped motherboard? From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Battlestar Galactica number 10. To escape from the Cylon main force chasing them, the human survivors must run and run hard, but that will mean leaving a chunk of the fleet behind. Commander Adama is not prepared to make that sacrifice despite the terrible risks. He has one chance to prove his laurels as the greatest Battlestar commander in the 12 colonies, awesome space-shaking space battle action, and edge-of-the-seat tension from cosmic superstar writer Dan Abnett. Next we have Battlestar Galactica 6, number 1 of 5. Don't miss this exciting chapter in Battlestar Galactica lore as the early origins of number 6 are explored. In developing the next generation of Cylons, getting the models to look human was the easy part, but acting human is another story. Witness the evolution of number 6 as she learns to live, to love, and to hate. We've also got Doc Savage number 5. When a group of cultists take control of an abandoned orbital weapon in 1988, threatening to burn whole cities unless their demands are met, the whole world is in a state of panic. Fortunately, Doc Savage and his aides are already in orbit repairing a communication satellite and are the only ones who have a chance of averting disaster, but it's a slim chance. And we have Grimm number 12, final issue. Death stalks Nick and his loved ones as the labors of Grimm come to a close. With the discovery of Silvio's plan to breed an unstoppable Wesson tyrant, Nick must stop at nothing to make sure this genetically engineered evil doesn't enter the world. From IDW Publishing, we've got Dexter's Laboratory number 1 of 4. Everyone's favorite boy genius returns to comics. Dexter has reached the pinnacle of his greatest scientific experiment, one that will gift him with infinite clarity and superhuman intellect beyond all mankind. But with every precaution in place, will he be able to finish it before his meddling sister Dee Dee ruins everything? Next we have G.I. Joe number 15, The Search for Siren. The G.I. Joe team is on the hunt for the mysterious Cobra operative codenamed Siren, but is her song luring them to their doom? We've also got Ghostbusters number 15. Louis Tully was an average accountant until the day that Vince Clortho, keymaster of Gozer, the Traveler, possessed him in service of the end of the world. Now the news says New York is the center of the Sumerian shenanigans again, and Louis wants nothing more than to steer clear, but something is drawing him back. Is it morbid curiosity or something more sinister? Mass Hysteria, the 30th anniversary celebration, continues here. Next we have Judge Dredd Mega City 2 number 4 of 5. Welcome to Crimeland. Dredd's mission brings him to West Coast's most exciting vacation spot, a theme park dedicated to old-fashioned street crime, singing animated creatures, and total anarchy. But he and his film crew find more than they counted on there, including a rogue judge who gave up the law to serve the people. We've also got My Little Pony Friendship is Magic number 18, Reflections Part 2. As long-kept Canterlot secrets are revealed, the ponies find a way into a new world, a world where things are very different, yet also very much the same. What role does King Sombra play in this world? The fate of both Equestria and the New World may depend on him. Next we have Transformers More Than Meets the Eye number 28. Certain Death, Here We Come. Megatron assumes control of the quest to find the Knights of Cybertron, a quest that has never before been so urgent, so personal, and so likely to end in tears. An incredulous Lost Light crew is left asking the same thing you are. How exactly did it come to this? We've also got V-Wars number 1. When a sniper's bullet kills the pro-peace speaker of the house and a terrorist vampire cell takes credit, the vampire war erupts hotter and bloodier than ever. Join IDW and New York Times best-selling author Jonathan Mayberry as we take you on a non-stop thrill ride of action, horror, and suspense. Welcome to the V-Wars. And we've got XFiles Season 10, number 11. The shifting sands of Saudi Arabia have attracted pilgrims, consumed armies, and made men rich beyond their wildest dreams. But when an ancient weapon is discovered beneath a newly tapped oil field, Agents Mulder and Scully find themselves pulled back into a black game as slippery as the X-Files have ever revealed. And you won't believe who's turning up to join them. From Image Comics, we've got Black Science number 6, stranded in the most dangerous dimension yet. Grant McKay's rage at his one-time boss boils over. Ignoring the chaos all around them, the two finally come to blows. Only one thing is certain, before the pillar makes its next jump, one of them must die. Don't miss the conclusion of the first arc of the world's most mind-melting sci-fi comic. Next we have Chew number 41 with the solicit simply, Vegas. We've also got Deadly Class number 4, Class Trip. Marcus, Willie, and Saya tear through a neon-soaked Las Vegas, high on life, and a bunch of acid too. And when you're a teenage killer on the run, stalked by a mutilated psycho with a raging heart-on for revenge, you're in for one bad trip. Next we have Dream Police number 1. Dream Police detectives Joe Thursday and Frank Stanford have been partners for as long as they can remember, patrolling the alternate universe of dreams, nightmares, and the great void beyond, an alternate but very real dimension of changelings, echoes, wisps, ethers, and nightwalkers, those who died in their sleep and wandered the dreamscape forever. They've seen it all, but when Frank steps away and disappears, and the woman who returns says she's Joe's partner, that she's always been Joe's partner, he begins a journey into the unknown that will shake the dreaming down to its very foundations. We've also got Egos number 4, standalone issue. 3 rookie Egos members go on an unauthorized adventure through time and space, plus marital strife, quantum physics, inadvisable sex, and the origin of the universe, maybe. Next we have Elephantmen number 56, Blood and Sand. Shaky Kane returns to Elephantmen to tell a chilling story of the LAPD's Lieutenant Trench. We've also got Southern Bastards number 1. Welcome to Craw County, Alabama, home of Boss Barbecue, the state champions Runnin' Rebs football team, and more bastards than you've ever seen. When you're an angry old man like Earl Tubb, the only way to survive a place like this is to carry a really big stick. From the acclaimed team of Jason Aaron and Jason Latour, the same bastards who brought you Scalped and Wolverine, Japan's Most Wanted, comes a Southern fried crime series that's like the Dukes of Hazzard meets Coen Brothers on meth. Next we have Tales of Honor number 2. The Honorverse expands to comics based on the best-selling military science fiction novels by David Weber. This original comic book series continues the story of Honor Harrington as she investigates the threat to Basilisk Station by the Republic of Haven. This series is part of a new multi-platform story world that includes a mobile game app to be released in the first issue and a feature film currently in development. We've also got 10 Grand number 9. When Joe Fitzgerald was hired to find a runaway, he never imagined that pursuing that case would take him into the afterlife itself, pursuing the man who was also responsible for the death of the woman he loved more than life itself. Having crossed into hell, Joe at last discovers that what seemed like a simple case is in fact a plot to tear down the walls of heaven, overthrow God, and reboot creation itself, and Joe is the only man who can stop the destruction of everything. And we have Umbral number 6, Chasing Shadows, the conclusion to Book 1. Rascal runs from the Red Guard's clutches, but it will cost her more than she can imagine. Where can she go? Who can she trust? Are you sure? Because nothing seems certain anymore, and by the end of this issue, nobody will be above suspicion. From Valiant Entertainment, we've got Rye number 1. Valiant First begins in force this May with an all-new vision of the future in Rye number 1, a new monthly series from comic superstars Matt Kent and Clayton Crane. The year is 4001 AD, led by the artificial intelligence called Father. The island nation of Japan has expanded out of the Pacific and into geosynchronous orbit with the ravaged Earth below. With billions to feed and protect, it has fallen to one solitary guardian to enforce the law of Father's empire, the mysterious folk hero known as Rai. They say he can appear out of nowhere. They say he is a spirit, the ghost of Japan. But when the first murder in 1,000 years threatens to topple Father's benevolent reign, Rai will be forced to confront the true face of a nation transformed and his own long-lost humanity. And we have Shadow Man End Times number 1 of 3. The end times are now. Master storyteller Peter Milligan is pushing Shadow Man to the edge, but can Jack Boniface survive the plunge? Jack thought he'd finally fixed his life and the source of his dark power, but when a figure from the past emerges with a troubling revelation about his destiny, the new Shadow Man will plummet into an abyss far darker than any demon. Make no mistake, doom is coming for Shadow Man, and it all begins right here in the first of 3 oversized issues. And just in time for Free Comic Book Day, Image is releasing $1 reprints of the first issue of many of their best-selling titles, including Alex plus Ada number 1, Black Science number 1, Deadly Class number 1, East of West number 1, Lazarus number 1, Manifest Destiny number 1, Pretty Deadly number 1, Rat Queens number 1, Saga number 1, Sex Criminals number 1, Velvet number 1, Walking Dead number 1, and Zero number 1. Now, speaking of Free Comic Book Day, check back later in the week for my Free Comic Book Day review, but in the meantime, that's a look at some of the top independent publishers this week, but there's still plenty of other books out as well, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com to see both the Marvel and DC videos for this week, as well as my usual roundup of all my favorites for the week with a little more depth and insight than you get here. And if you like these videos, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing. You can also follow He's Got Issues on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Tumblr to see everything I'm reading as I read it. So until Free Comic Book Day, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.